Welcome back to Part 10. This is going to be Act 9, Part 1 of Act 9. Act 9 is rather large, so this is probably going to be broken up into two separate videos, with the first part covering the entirety of the Sancrosanct Spires and Hunting Field section, and then the second video covering the Skybase area. So let's get right into it. In this first area, you're just gonna trying to be cutting corners as much as possible with your grappler, and trying to get just a good shot on a wall wherever you can. For this first encounter, you're gonna wait for the ninja to head south, and then air push the guy heading towards you, and that should give you enough time to get over to the wall and climb up. Same thing with the grappler. Use it whenever possible. Once you climb up here, use it again. And so you can kind of cut across the gaps here with it again from here. And there's kind of like a swag strat you can do here where you hit it from here, which stops you from having to walk over the rope and do that little section there. So be careful though, that's really just more of a swag strat. Only do it if you know you're going to have the time to line up and do the grappler. And then pick up that chest on your way out. Grappler to the wall for a little bit of a shortcut. And hit the switch to take this first fight. You're going to hope for either poison or moon. Not the greatest combination here. A couple different ways you can approach this. Generally, you're going to want to be using AoE on everything you can, and then cleaning up additional damage at the end if there's anything left. Sunball, Moonerang, Venom Flurry, all great choices. And we're going to start getting some rapid level ups here to kind of get us caught up. The game really kind of wants to rubber band us and give us a lot of EXP for some of these fights. So just go ahead and continue to pick your attack related things. If there's nothing interesting for your character, go ahead and pick MP. And you can take a heal here. And so this next fight used to be kind of random, and it's really kind of inconsistent on whether or not you were able to skip it. And since the Dawn of Equinox update, it's been changed, so it's very consistent now. You just run down, push, and you should be able to escape every time. Those two guys are always walking up and down now, so you just go for the left-hand one and give them a good push. I thought I was going to be able to finish him with the phase shiv, but I guess not. Depending on your attack upgrades throughout the run, you may or may not have enough attack power to handle that one. Either way, take your pick, get yourself out of that fight as quickly as you can. And then push the block up to this point and just use your grapple to hit the wall from there. Go ahead and skip this scene and crawl across this wall. And climb up and hit this switch. You're going to have this little solo section here with Sarai, where you're going to have a little puzzle to complete, so just go ahead and do that. There used to be some cheese in completing these puzzles, but since Dawn of Equinox update, you now just kind of have to do the puzzle normally, so go ahead and complete it as quickly as you can. And for this, you're just tile matching. It's kind of a memory match game. This one is pretty simple. With your grappler, try to hit it from a distance across here. There's kind of a sweet point, like right here, like from this wall, where you can kind of get through the halfway point. So we'll try this a few times here. Kind of right there, I suppose. Lining yourself up along the bottom and kind of hitting across the gap. Just to save yourself a little bit of time as you're coming back. Retrieve your party members and hit this kind of elevator up. Make your way up to the next section. And so there's a couple different ways you can do this skip. I'll talk about the way that I normally like to do it. So what I like to do is I like to line myself up kind of on this like flat line. Imagine this line kind of like directly horizontal from me to him. And so he's going to see me and kind of like run across that line every time. And what I want to do is I want to get the samurai to kind of see me while he's like as high up along the line as possible. And so when you do this, you can kind of juggle both enemies. And I don't really like this particular kind of configuration. I'm going to let him kind of reset himself. And wait for the samurai to come up north a little bit more before I kind of grab his aggro. And so now they're both kind of juggled. And what I like to do is kind of push them out as far as I can. And then just go for it. You can do a pretty nice juggle on all three of them to kind of just keep them out of your way as you make your way through that little section. It does require some practice, but once you've got the hang of it, you can usually blast through that fairly quickly. Here, you're going to kind of want to like stay to the right of this. Kind of once you crawl over here, you start to fall into the sight of the enemy, so you kind of don't want to cross that little threshold until he's turned around. And then go around, grab the chest, and kind of like loop around the bottom of them until you're able to exit. If you feel you need to, hold the text box on the chest so that you're able to like lose aggro on them and they can kind of go back to their patrol, but only if you feel you need to. So you have a bit of a bigger puzzle here, and I like to keep an image available for this one because it is a little bit more to memorize, but feel free to memorize it if you want to, or feel free to refer to an image. Oops. You can generally use your grappler to kind of get yourself to these things a little bit quicker. This one, it doesn't really matter because you're forced to do an encounter here, so. And depending on what kind of locks you get, you may want to try to break these. Timing certain moves in this fight can be difficult because there is kind of a ceiling right above their head. And so things like Ebb, if you were to use it, it is really hard to time. So it won't be able to do anything about that. Except for maybe Solstice Strike. Pick your best physical attackers and just try to hammer out as much damage as you can as quickly as possible. For this part, you're going to be lining up the ball on the platform, and you can usually do this in each section with like 1 or 2 good pushes. When you jump down in this next section, you're going to kind of want to be quick about how you go about it, but you're going to want to jump off the platform north, and then there's a switch and a chest that you're going to want to get. The chest you can use to sort of view the patrol route and pick your timing if necessary, but again, try to go about it as quickly as you can. So, I'm going to hug the wall here, and they don't even see me. Up here, you can jump off of the left-hand side, but not the right-hand side, or maybe it's vice versa. You can't jump off the left-hand side, but you can jump off the right-hand side. Here, Grappley, but you're taking the elevator this time. And good chance to rest up. There is a weapon for Valir halfway up the stairs here, so once you pick that up, take a sec to equip that as well as Zale's weapon. So Neo Obsidian and Plasma. And if you have any other like last minute gear changes you want to do here, like now's a good chance. Everything should be good though. Really key important point for this fight is having Sarai to disorient on the left-hand bird. You're going to be trying to place a lot of focus on the left-hand bird because he's the one that heals, so therefore he's the one that's going to extend the fight. So this fight, there is no perfect script. It's really just about kind of breaking the locks and trying to just safely get through it and avoiding heals if at all possible. So first thing I'm going to do, we're going to bring Roshan out and we're going to attack with Roshan. He's going to do our double poison here and some splash damage. And we got a really nice setup configuration here, so I'm going to leave the boost out. You're going to want to start keeping that boost aside for Conflagrate, which we're pretty close to, but go ahead and get this Moonrang out of the way. And again, there's no perfect script for this, so you really just have to play by whatever locks you're given. The general rule of thumb is to not let the left-hand guy recover them. Try to avoid the healing if at all possible. And there's another very specific scenario you want to keep an eye out for, but if it happens, I'll call it out. Otherwise, we'll kind of talk about it when there's a bit of a lull. So we want to continue to just do some damage here. He's kind of our most dangerous guy here that we need to worry about. He's kind of the one that does the most damage. He's a little less threatening, but these two in combination are very threatening, and he sort of just extends the fight as much as possible. So go ahead and do some damage on this guy. If you have some magic that you want to use, he's kind of your main target right now. Same sort of thing as last round, we got Poison and Moon. Generally, all of his locks are a combination of Poison and Moon locks, so Roshan is very good for taking care of the Poison portion of this, while Moonrang is very nice for cleaning up the other side of it. And so we have our Conflagrate ready. We can fire that off here pretty soon. It looks like it'll give us enough ultimate boost. And we're just kind of waiting on 3 boosts before we go ahead and do that. Kind of a combination of these two is what you're looking for here. Ooh, that's not great. With a little bit more focus on the right hand. Like I said, this guy does the most damage to your party, and so you kind of want him out of the way as soon as possible. Doing this mainly to boost the ultimate. So, he's out of the way now. Gonna use the ultimate to kind of push the timer back and do a bit of damage here. So, with the right guy out of the way, we can kind of talk about something here. This set of locks that the center guy is casting right now is a move called True Terror. And what it does is it brings your HP for your entire party down to 1. Now, if you ever find yourself in a situation where the right-hand guy is set up to attack immediately after this with a basic attack, he will one-shot your entire party, no questions asked. So that's kind of an unavoidable game over. The only way you really get around that is by casting Lunar Shield with Valir. And that will kind of give you that buffer to get through that move and try to heal people back up. So be very careful of that particular scenario occurring. But this we would want to try to avoid the heal. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to, because you would need a Solstice Strike to do this. So can we disorient? Still doesn't help us, however. We'll get a weakened heal. So here's True Terror. Brings your entire party down to 1 HP. If the other guy were alive and he were to do an attack, we would be in a lot of trouble right now. So I don't want him to heal again. What I'm going to do in this case, I'm just going to take party members that I know will survive this attack. Will hopefully survive this attack. This is going to be damage on 2 characters probably. Oh, just 1, good. And for now, you're going to want to shift your focus over to the left-hand guy. Well, that's an interesting combination. I don't know if that's even one you can break. I'm going to Arcane Barrage it, though. And then we're going to Petrichor to kind of top ourselves back up here. Yeah, getting a lot of Solstice Strike type of stuff here, and we just don't have it right now, so getting stuck with a number of these heals. Coming up with True Terror again, doesn't really worry me this time though. Your first response to True Terror should always be Petrichor, if at all possible. If not, make sure you're swapping party members out and kind of refreshing. And we're going back to just pounding out physical damage on this guy. This is 2 reasons why we're shifting focus here. We want the heals out of the way, of course, as quick as possible. But also this is helping us build combo points. And with those combo points, we can go ahead and just do a lot of like high damage, focus damage on the remaining character once he's finally kind of said and done here. So he's in his weakened animation. He's got maybe 1 or 2 hits left here. nice. And you can kind of triple boost and then like go for some higher damage stuff here. Your main goal now is to just knock them out as quickly as possible. Since ultimates don't go with you like combo points, feel free to use that up if you get it. Double drop does a fair amount of damage. You can time it multiple times. Really good move for best. And just try to get yourself out of there as quickly as possible. Sometimes the locks are really kind to you. Sometimes they're just really rude. So it can be really frustrating to get kind of a bad bird fight when you're this deep into a run with good pacing. But just try to keep your cool and work your way through as smoothly as possible. I took a rest there. You actually don't need to. Once you go to the next scene here, you get an auto heal, so that was an oopsies. Coming up here, you've got a couple scenes to skip. And then you're going to hop into the device over on the right-hand side. And we're going Skybase. Skybase, we're gonna save this for a separate video. It's gonna be a Act 9 Part 2 sort of video, so I'm gonna cut this one right here, and we'll see you in Part 2 for Act 9 in the next one.